Hmm. Do I go left or do I go right? Hmm. Hi, I'm Greg. Welcome to my van adventure. Um, I started the month back in the town I was the last video, and I had to do a purchase. My belt buckle was about to disintegrate, so I had to buy another one. Um, and since I was in the store, I saw a kettle, which I needed one because transferring boiling water into a cup is, well, my burned finger can tell you that it's not fun, and some disaster can happen. um, so yeah, I got the kettle. It's going to be a lot easier for coffee and porridge girl. Uh, the stuff with the oats. Um, and yeah, and the temperature is getting pretty cold. I've had to have the propane stove working some sometime in the evening because it got really cold in the evening, and I wasn't ready to go to bed, so had to put the stove on. And quite a few morning, when you wake up and it's 6-7 Celsius in the van. Well, one morning I decided to wait until it was sunny outside before getting out of bed, because in the bed I'm quite comfortable. It's toasty, but as soon as I get out of bed, yeah, I could break glass with my nipples. Um, but don't worry or anything about the stove. I've got carbon monoxide detector, smoke detectors, all the thing. So if anything if anything goes wrong, if the amount of carbon monoxide gets too high, that thing start beeping, and I open the windows, and it hasn't beeped yet, but um, you know I'm safe that way. Um, so for this video, I'm going to change the format a little bit. I can already say that I don't really like it. Instead of making one long video of voiceover, with the story from where I'm at, from the last video until where I'm at. um, I'm going to put the videos that I did along the way, with information along the way instead. um, but yeah, there's no common theme. It's like, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. So anyway, we'll see. You tell me if you like that. um, and Yeah, so let's get on with it. So I don't usually make plans because for some reason, as soon as I try to put them in action, uh, something goes wrong. For example, when I was moving out of Thunder Bay, the first place I want, well, the place I was planning to go to was about 50 kilometers away from Thunder Bay. Nice distance. And I got there. There's like a 10 minutes of unpaved road to go to. It's nice. I mean, the road wasn't that bad. But as soon as I got onto the unpaved portion, I noticed quite a few signs saying everything on this road is private property and you will be prosecuted. Okay. And I got to the end of the road where the camping spot was supposed to be, and there was a gate there, so I couldn't even get to the actual parking spot that was supposed to be on gravel. There was a small spot that I could maybe have put the van, but it was like a really steep angle, and just before getting to that part, there was one house. So 10 minutes of unpaved road, and on all of that road, private property, there was one house. At that one house, there was an elderly couple, and while I was driving by, the man was in between the house and the road, with his hand on his hips, looking at me like. So yeah, so I figured if I stay here, in 10 minutes there's going to be a knock on my door. So I left and made my way further, and the next place was a truck stop, except it really wasn't a truck stop, a normal truck stop anyway. There was it looked like you know, strange pump for agricultural machinery. Like it wasn't it was supposed to be a Petro Canada, but it wasn't a normal petrol station. There wasn't even you know, either a store or even just a small house where you can go and pay. There wasn't any of that. There was just big tanks and a few pump. And the place really wasn't that big. Like there was enough space for big trucks to just turn themselves around to be faced the right way with the pump. But there was really little space around it to be able to park the van. So I ended up not staying there either, which means that I was planning a 50-kilometer trip, but I ended up doing a little bit over 100 kilometers. So, you know, it is what it is. To get to this spot. Now, this spot, where I am right now, I think is where it's supposed to be, but it's all mulch. Like, I think that's the word. They take trees, they put the trees in the wood chipper, and then they just dumped it all here. So, you know, this would have been a really nice place to camp, but it's like mushy. It's you walk and your feet go down, you know, a really big depth. And I tried to come here with the van, and you know, I just felt the van go deeper and deeper, so I backed out, and I managed to find a place to stay that's pretty nice, because it's quiet. Well, at night when the trucks stop going on the highway, it gets really quiet, and it's private. There's trees around the van, so you know nobody from the highway can see me. And the place, I mean, it's just forest, but it's pretty nice, I think. And the first night I was here, I heard something quite interesting. There was a mom or a dad wolf trying to teach their cubs how to howl. It was terrible on the part of the cub, but it was awesome. Like, you know, the big beefy with experience howl that started it, and after that just a bunch of small yip that, you know, they probably tried really hard, but it wasn't howling in any way of the of the term. But it was pretty interesting. I was hoping that they were really close by, but I opened the window a little bit and the sound seemed to be coming from a lot further away than I thought at first. And it's not windy today. Like yesterday, I couldn't have recorded. It was just too loud. The wind was too loud. And this morning it was raining. But so that's going to be it. That's going to be it today here. I'm going to move a little bit further up the road. Let's see if that plan pans out. So there's two things that I haven't been able to get away from much on this trip. One is the highway, and the other is the train track. Obviously, you know, they're going cross country the same way as I am, and it makes for some night with a little bit of noise, like quite a lot of noise. Both from both both direction, but you know, it's not that bad. I think that they're using a lot more trucks and cars now to transport stuff because it's faster. So there's not that many cargo train. Last night was okay. There was a lot of truck. I wasn't expecting a lot of truck in the rest area, but there was a lot of trucks. And I'm going to spare you the Back to the Future jokes about the time zone divider, because we've heard them time and time again and again. But yeah, it was interesting to see my phone go from 11:30 to 10:30, depending on which end of the parking lot I was. But you know, it's not a place where you would stay more than one night. All right, let's go back on the road. So I'm pretty glad the sun came up today, because it started to get a little bit chilly. So last night was the first night, and there's going to be a lot more coming up where the night is in the single digit Celsius. And the temperature never went really above 14 Celsius yesterday during the day, so you know, it was a little bit hard to get the temperature high during the night. Yeah, so pretty glad that the sun is has decided to show itself a little bit today. So we're going to try to stay here It's like a community center with the curling club kind of place. I'm not. I mean, on Overlander, it seems like a good place to stay, but it seems a little bit creepy and abandoned, and yeah. So we'll see. Uh, let's hope. Let's hope nobody comes and asks me to leave. Uh, and it's not a bad place. Pretty smooth, pretty flat, and definitely quiet, and a lot of space. So we'll see. Well, well, there was no problem sleeping at the curling center, and we even got uh, someone else that came to park here during the night. Well, they came in very late, like at 1 a.m. Um, and I basically didn't sleep because it was raining so hard all night. Uh, yeah, didn't get much sleep, and it's freezing again. Well, freezing. It's 14 Celsius this morning, and it's not supposed to go higher than that for the whole day. So, all right, so let's get back on the road. One thing I forgot to mention about the small village with the curling club, there was a gas station with convenience store and restaurant combo, and it was Labor Day, so it was a holiday for most people, and there must have been at least 25 people in there, at least, and I was the only one with a mask on. Eh, so this place where I got to is really nice. I mean, the um, the place itself is, I think, it it might have been like we have in Quebec, the electric line for hydroelectricity. So it must have been like a place where the big electric cable were in the air with the big metal structure, because it's a really nice corridor, which is about the only bad thing about this place is the wind. It's really, really windy. I mean, last night must have been like 50-60 kilometer wind. It was pretty intense. Um, and I'm saying that because all of those the yellow picket fence basically says that there's an underground power cable going through there. So I'm guessing maybe they just dismantled all of the big pylon thing, and they just put the cable underground, which is really nice, especially if you have sleet like we have here in Quebec or Canada. Um, weighing down the cable, and they snap, and you've got lots of places without electricity for a while. So putting them underground, I think, is a good idea. The place is awesome. If you want to have a nice walk, you can go that way, and there's actually a lake there. I think it's called English Lake, something like that, or English River. Um, and yeah, I mean, there's enough space here for like I don't know, 5 or 6 people to stay here, and it's not really smooth. Like there's barely any flat surface at all. But you can park anywhere here, and as far as I know, it's Crown land, so you could stay here for a few weeks. It's not really okay for me because I need to drive. Well, if I stay here for a long time, my problem is I'm not going to have enough gas for the electricity that I'm consuming. So, you know, might as well drive than stay in the same spot. But yeah, here, really nice place. So I'm going to get back on the road and see what the next place looks like. This was a pretty nice spot as well. There's basically no highway sound from here, and I mean, the place isn't really superb. It's just gravel. You know, it's an old logging road, so it's just gravel and quite a lot of empty space and a small fire pit. I don't know. I don't know who built it. I don't really do that much I'm not that much of a fire guy, but you know, it's there. um, yeah, so it was pretty quiet, and it's getting really chilly. I had to put the stove on, the propane stove on last night and this morning, because the temperature inside the van was below 10 Celsius. That's starting to be a little bit cold. All right, well, let's get back on the road. So, of course, I went right. Fortunately, it was just a small bit, but quite quite rocky. And that's where I'm going to be spending the night today. Really small space here at the end of this road, just on the side of the highway as usual. And I made it to Ignis. Um, and that's probably where I'm going to try to make the video make one video. There isn't really that much Wi-Fi or anything in this town. I try to go places like you know, the gas station with the convenience store, the subway. There was a motel. Uh, Ignis is basically a town that was like, most of the stuff is closed, but you know. Um, so yeah, I'm going to try to make a small video, and so we'll see how much data I have left on my plan. But maybe I'm going to wait a few days before I upload it when I get to the next big town, which supposedly is actually a town. You know, it's not the town that was, it's still a town. So yeah, so we'll see. One thing I will say about Ignis, though, is that even though it's a town that was, you know, it's almost everything that's around town, around the main road, around the highway. Um, Even though everything is falling down, you know, getting destroyed or just left to rot, they still manage to have a Tesla uh, recharging station, which I thought was pretty cool and a little bit weird. I mean, we're basically in the middle of nowhere. I guess that's the best place to put one, but anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to be leaving here today. I don't really, I mentioned that in another another bit before. I don't have a lot of data left on my cellular, on my phone, so I'm probably going to wait a few days to upload this video that I'm doing right now. It's going to be probably when I get to the next bigger town bigger village, a small town called Dryden. Hopefully I can get some Wi-Fi there, but if I can't anyway, I think that by that time my cellular plan will have renewed and I'm going to be back to 25 gigabyte of data, I think. But at the end of the month, at the end of my bill cycle, that's pretty damn disappeared. Yeah, so I'm going to upload the video later. But for now, that's it. And if you liked the video, press the thumb up. And if you want to keep informed, just subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell notification, and you'll get a message when a new video comes up. In the meantime, have a good day.